Wi-Fi is off. See, not connected properly. Now it becomes. Okay, so the first was your 25 subnet. So for 25 subnet, the value of n is 5 for all, and the subnet mask is 255, 255, 248, correct? 224. How much is the subnet mask? Huh? 248, na? 2 to the power 4 equal to 16, 5 equal to 32. So n value is 5. When you are going to convert the binary number, then it will come 248. So correct your mistake if you have done. Now the block size will be 256, 248 equal to 8. Same for all. And then you have to write the table 0, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and so on. Okay, so I asked you not to write all. Up to 10, if you have written correct, then it's okay. Then before that it will be 7, 15, 23, 31, 39, 47. So same is for all. And the next is your network ID, valid IP, and broadcast IP. So network ID, just take an example, 100.0. So the valid will be 100.1 to 6. And the broadcast IP will be 7. So here in this range, first IP network ID and last one is broadcast ID, and in between will be the valid IP address. Okay. So I hope same for all. N is a number of host bit to convert into network bit, not only host bit. Understood? So that was your confusion. So you have made 7 bit and rest all you have converted. Similarly, so next we will start from 8, 9, 14, and then 15, and so on it will be written. Same. So this was for 25. Now coming the same for 50. For 50 subnet it will be 6. 6 means 242. Same for all. Okay, and similarly when you are going to change it, it will be 4, and accordingly your block size will be 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 to 15, 16 to 19, 20 to 23, and so on. Okay, and in class C we cannot create more than 64 subnets in one network ID. Suppose if I have to create 100 subnets, then what I have to do? I have to take two class C network ID. In one I will create 50, then another I will use and create 50, like that. But just to create 100 subnet, and the number of required IP is very less, then we don't need to move to class B, because class B have lot of IP addresses. Okay, so I hope for all these IPs are clear, subnet and everything. And those who are enjoying the weather of Bangalore in the morning, definitely for them these all things are totally bouncing. Correct? So if you have missed, you have to go through the recordings. After that also, if you feel, then you have to tell me that you need once again, and I will see how I can manage. So this was the subnetting. Now moving to the next, that is VPC or IAM. Both the topic we can start. So let us see which one we should start. If we follow syllabus, I think that would be better. So as per our last discussion, we have completed till module number 3, and we had to do model number 4, correct? And in EC2 also we have done, I think EC2 we have done now how to create EC2 machines and all. I think theoretical portion also I've done for this batch. So now this key pair creating security group and all this we have done, this module 6. So we will go for module 5 first, because just now we have done these IP related things. After 5, immediately remind me to finish this 4. Then we will be in the sequence. Okay. VPC. What exactly is a VPC? We say it as a virtual private cloud. Cloud means our own, cloud means network. Okay. Cloud means remote network, remote, but everywhere this concept will change little bit. Like here we are talking about VPC, virtual private network. We can think the same as a our virtual private network inside the cloud. So it is a virtual private network in AWS where we can specify our own private network IDs, which IP address I want to use, how I want to manage our network. Okay, so that is VPC, means inside the cloud I want to define my own network I want to define which network will communicate with which network, all the rules, securities, everything I want to control. That is VPC. So by default, when you are going to create any machine, you will see default VPC it will take, because one VPC is already defined by AWS or Amazon. Okay. Next is subnet. Subnet means what? Simple, the same concept we have seen subnetting, and subnet is same here. We will create one VPC and then inside that we will create subnet. We cannot allocate IP address directly from VPC here. In the real scenario, we have a single network and we can configure IP. But here in AWS, we define a network ID that I want to use this class C, class B, any private network ID. And in that private network ID, I am going to divide it as a small subnets. So here we create we divide a single network into multiple small network depend on our requirement. So why we create subnets here? What is the reason behind that? We create subnet because we want our some of the server in public subnet, some of the server in private subnet. I mean, just to divide the area or network, you can say. Like I am creating some web servers to be accessed by our customers, so that I will create in public subnet. Some I want to create servers which can be accessed privately, which should not be accessed by internet users. So for that I have to create a separate subnet. Okay. Like yesterday I told you that what is the objective of creating subnets? The security. So for the same reason here we are creating subnets. Next is internet gateway. So in the real scenario, the gateway we have, that is our router, our firewall. Similarly here we have the internet gateway. So internet gateway is not any device here. It is again a virtual feature. This internet gateway is going to connect a network to the internet, a private network to the internet. That is here internet gateway. Okay. So we create an internet gateway and attach it with the VPC, or you can say connect with the VPC. Then only the device of that VPC will be able to access internet or will be accessed from the internet. Next is route table. Route table is what? Route table contain information about the network and how to reach that network. So suppose there are two subnets, two network I have created. Then how one network will reach to another network? That information is defined in route table via the internet gateway, via any other options. So that we have to define here. In the real scenario, the same thing is the network ID and we define the gateway device IP address. But here we don't define gateway device IP address, we select the name of the device. That's it. Understood? In the route table. Next is NAT gateway. So suppose we have uh, private network, private subnet. So there are two type of network access. One where outsider means internet user can connect to me directly. One is where I can connect internet user, but internet user cannot connect to me. Okay. So if there is a situation like I have private server, I don't want internet user to access my private server, but my private server need updates. It needs update, like you do not window update. So similar type of update if you need, then you need internet connection. So I just want to give internet connection so that my server can access internet, but internet user cannot access my server. In that situation we use NAT gateway. Understood? So there is two type of gateway: internet gateway, NAT gateway. So if I want my server can be accessed from internet and can access internet, we will use internet gateway, means bidirectional. And if I want that my server can access internet but internet user cannot access my server, then we will use NAT gateway. So this is the difference: internet gateway and NAT gateway. Okay. Next is elastic IP address. So yesterday, day before yesterday, you have seen, not day before yesterday, earlier, you have seen what is public IP address. So public IP address is used to connect internet. So the fixed public IP address or a static public IP address is termed here as a elastic IP address. And why they have used the term elastic? If you need that IP, you can take it by yourself, and when you don't need, you can release by yourself. Understood? That's why they have said it as a elastic IP address. But in your free tier account, NAT gateway elastic IP address is chargeable. So when you are going to practice, make sure immediately after practice you release and delete the things. Else, if you leave it like 4 hours, 5 hours, accordingly you will get added in your bills. And nowadays, AWS is not waiving off your bills. If there is a 10 rupees, you have to pay. If it is a 1,000 rupees, also you have to pay. Understood? So everything is not free in free tier account. I told you on day one also. Okay. So when you are doing practical, always make sure, and I asked you also to visit your bills at least every 2 days. Just go in the account and billing section, check whether there is any forecast bill where it will show you why you have been billed for these things. Expand the details, it will show you that okay, you have used NAT gateway for this much is charge. Again, just to reconfirm, go and check whether NAT gateway still have deleted or not. Another problem is what you are doing, you do practice. Always keep in mind when you are working in going to log in AWS console, check in which region you are. And it's a better practice, always create your instance or everything in the same region. Just make it as a favorite like that. I'll practice only in the region. Advantage. Suppose if you have changed the region and practiced. So you have created machine suppose in Mumbai region. You are searching in Tokyo region. Machine will not be there. So you are assured, okay, no EC2 machine, everything is okay. But by mistake, you have created one machine in Mumbai region and you have left. For that, you are getting the bill. So how you will come to know? Again, when you go billing and account section, then there it will show one machine is created in that region. So whenever you are practicing this all, always try to maintain a single region. Okay, so that you can memorize I am practicing here, and you can search also, verify that things are deleted after the practice. Next is peering connection. So what exactly is a peering connection? If you have two different VPC in the same region or in a different region or in a different account also, you can connect both with the help of peering connection. In a general scenario, this NAT gateway, internet gateway, route table, peering connection, this type of feature is available in a single device called router. But here in AWS, everything is as a separate option. So you should know what is the use, in which scenario I will use which option. So peering connection option will be used when you want to connect two different VPC. Okay, different VPC means two different network, not subnet, network. Okay, so when you want to connect the two different networks, you will use peering connection. And that two different network can be, one is my VPC, one is your VPC, and of a different account also we can connect. Within the same account also we can connect. In a same region or different region, the VPCs are created, we can connect. Understood? So simply to connect two different VPC wherever it is, we use peering connection. Then the same private subnet and public subnet. So public subnet, the subnet which can be accessed from internet. So subnet will not be accessed. The device which is in that subnet will be accessed through the internet. That is our public subnet, and which cannot be accessed, that is private subnet. Next is called security group. So what is security group? So security group is like your firewall. You know about the firewall. You have Windows firewall, Linux firewall. So the function of firewall is to filter incoming and outgoing traffic. Okay, like I have a web server. I want that no one can access my website, or they can access only my website. They cannot ping me. They cannot access it through SSH. They cannot access it through RDP. Okay, remote access or anything. So whatever access or the service I allow, that will be only accessed via security group, else everything will get blocked. So there are two type of rule, inbound rule and outbound rule. So inbound rule means incoming connection. Inbound rule is always for incoming connection. So for incoming connection, whatever protocol you have allowed, only with that protocol it will access. And by default for outbound rule, everything is allowed. Okay. So suppose you as a server, you are a server. So on yourself, which outbound rule you will apply? By default, you will block everything on yourself. Will you do like that? For you, it needs everything, all access. But if someone is trying to come, then you will put the restrictions. So similarly here, by default, outbound rule is all traffic allowed. Okay, so the server can do anything outside. That is a different thing, that another end where it want to connect, again for that this server, for the server it is outbound, but the destination it is inbound. So whatever destination has allowed, that can be accessed, but by default it will not restrict itself. So in the one batch which is going in night, one of my intelligent student, what he has done, he has deleted outbound rule. Okay, means in outbound by default it was allowed everything, so he deleted that. And then what he has done, he has allowed a specific protocol only, and he is stuck in some practical. And he came to me, sir, this is the problem. I checked everything, because I cannot think that you are going to do that type of things. So he came, this is not communicating or something was a problem. I checked, he has allowed everything in the security group, everything was fine. Then I was not able to come to the point where is the problem. Then suddenly he says that, sir, I have deleted all traffic in outbound rule also. So what happened? Like you see, if I allow, just as an example of ICMP, ICMP is used to test the connectivity, ping. So if you are trying to ping me and ICMP is allowed, your request, hi, hello, whatever is there, it comes to me. But for me, it is blocked, ICMP. So you are saying hi, hello, but I am not able to reply you. So same situation happened with the server. If both the side in outbound and inbound, this same protocol is not allowed, the communication will not happen. So that's why, to avoid this mismatch, outbound is allowed everything. Understood? For outbound, in every device, if you see, everything is allowed. Only it filters the incoming traffic. So for you also, don't try to go and edit your outbound rules. If you want to see what type of problem can come, then you can try. So understood this security group. So security group is just created whenever you create any machine, automatically the security group will be created, or it will give you the option to create. Why? Based on that, it will filter the incoming and outgoing traffic. Next is NACL, Network Access List. So network access list means security group is for one device. Network access list is on your entire VPC. In your entire network, what rule you want to apply, which IP can communicate with which IP, like this type of things you can define in NACL. So by default, NACL is allowed everything. So if you want to restrict any specific subnet for any specific type of communication, then you will define NACL. So NACL means when you have to define network level of restrictions, not device level. Then you will use NACL. When you want device level, then you will use security group. Next is this VPN. So VPN, customer gateway, site-to-site VPN, these all things we will discuss during the VPN practical. Else the theory will be more. Okay. So till now, whatever things we have discussed, we are going to see these things practically, how VPC is created, what is the effect of that and all. And this VPN, when we are going to do the practical of VPN, then this all term will come. And there I will explain what is the VPN, what is customer gateway, VPN gateway, what is site to site, what is remote access and all. So as the time remains only 18 minutes, so you will not be able to do things parallelly. So I am going to show you the all full you have to practice. And this EC2 and VPC, these topics you have to practice every day during your entire course. So practice it well. Understood? Like in every practice, you will interact with the VPC, route table, internet gateway, EC2, security group. These all things will come every day during your practical. Okay. So see here, first you search for VPC, isolated cloud resource. Isolated means you want to create your separate network inside the cloud. That is VPC. So in the VPC, if you see, so now for me it is showing Mumbai region. Earlier I was doing everything in North Virginia. So based on the last practical where you have done, it will appear. So let me change it to North Virginia. Yes, it's true. So you click on your VPC. So when you click on your VPC, you will see one VPC is created and tenancy. You see it is a default VPC. Yes. Okay. Visible now. So here in this VPC, you have to click on create VPC and see this carefully and read the option and you tell me what we should do. So if you understand the options, you don't need to see the video or you don't need to see your notebook while practical. Okay. So when we click on VPC and create VPC, what option we will select here? Which one? VPC only or VPC and more? VPC only. Next, what I have to give? Name. You want to use IPv4 or you want IPAM allocated, means you want to define manually network ID or automatically. So definitely manual we will use. So just to take an example of 100.0/24, like this you have to give the network ID. Understood? Then IPv6 you want? No, I don't need. Rest all, tenancy, dedicated or default. If you want dedicated, again more charge. So we'll let it be as a default. Tag, name, and this all. Anything else is there? Nothing. Then we will click on create VPC. Clear? So next time to create VPC, do you need to watch video? That's how you have to learn the practical. See the sequence. First we will create VPC. Second, subnet. Okay. So we will click on subnet. We have created one network. Now I am going to divide it into 1, 2, whatever you want. Okay. So in subnet also you will see there will be lot of default subnet created, and these all default subnets network ID if you see 172.31.48.16. So it is defined by our Amazon. So I don't want to use it. Create subnet. What it is asking? VPC ID. Okay. So which one you will select? The one which you have created. Then next is subnet name. Any name you can give. I am giving this is my public subnet. Okay. Or instead of public subnet, now we'll go only for one and two. This is my subnet one. In which availability zone you want to create? Let it be. Okay. Availability zone, you know already the data centers of our Amazon. Now it is asking, this is your VPC CIDR block. So what is your subnet CIDR block? So subnet CIDR block means your network ID of every subnet. So I want to create two subnets. So how we will calculate? 192.168.100.0 network ID. I want to create two subnets. So n equal to 2. 2 to the power 1 equal to 2 na. So n value will be 1. So my requirement is to create two subnets. Okay. So n value will be 1. 2 to the power 1 equal to 2. So the subnet mask will be 255, 255, 255, 128. Correct? As per this, the block size will be 256 minus 128 equal to 128. So my range will start from 0 to 127 and 128 to 255. Two subnet it is divided. So for the first subnet, network ID will be 192.168.100.0 slash 25. 24 is the default network bits, one more is there, so 25. And for the second subnet, the network ID will be 168.100.128 slash 25. Correct? Any confusion here? No confusion? Or didn't understand? Understood. So, like this, you have to calculate on paper, and then for first subnet, I will use this CIDR. Here, what it is asking. So it is showing also, you see, 128 IP address inside this, and then you have to click on create subnet. That's it. Similarly, you will create one more subnet if required. If not required, then one subnet is also enough. Okay. You want to create another subnet. Similarly, you will give the name. And here you will give the ID of second one. Understood? If you are going to divide in 4, then you will calculate first and network ID of all 4. And the CIDR value means you have to count how many network bits after subnetting. And then you have to write in slash. So like this we have created subnet. Just to do this much, yesterday you have done this all calculation, subnetting and all. So now our subnet is created. You see two different subnets and their network IDs. Once you have created subnet, then the third step is you have to create internet gateway, not root table. First gateway, then root table. So internet gateway, and internet gateway I don't know how to create. You tell me what option I should do. Huh? Give name. Internet gateway. Then what I should do? Anything else I need to define here? Create internet gateway. How simple it is. But once you create, there is an option attached to VPC, because it is showing here state detached. So we need to attach to VPC, and which VPC? The one you have created. After that, attach. Clear? Once you are done with this, then the next is root table. When you go in the root table, it will be also one default root table will be there. Okay, you will create root table. And here when you are giving name, it will not accept a space. Okay, root table, you will select your VPC name and then create root table. Once you have created your root table, scroll down, there is an option root. So you can see in the root by default your entire network /24 is active, means inside a single VPC all subnet communicate with each other by default. Okay, we don't need to define root for that. Root table we need to create, but we don't need to define root. Suppose if you have created 10 subnet inside this, so by default they will communicate. Okay, so if you want to restrict anyone, then you have to define NACL, network access control list. But here they don't know information about internet, how to reach internet. For that you have to edit routes, add route. What will be your destination? Do you know the IP of Google? So you will write 0.0.0.0, any IP address. How to reach? Via internet gateway. And then here you click, it will show your internet gateway name, and then you will save the changes. So now there is a information in the root table about all the networks can be reached via internet gateway, and it is active. If this information is not there in the root table, you create your machine in this subnet. It will get created, but you will not be able to access because root is not there. Now the subnet association, this root table is applied for which subnet? So you have to click on subnet associate and add the subnets. So here is the change. If you select all the subnets, so all your subnet is public. If you don't define the root for the internet, so that subnet becomes private. Rest all process is same. So that practice also we will do. So as of now, I will select both. Save association. And then you can check here in the subnet association, it is showing two subnets are there. So this is also a part of troubleshooting. Whenever you are doing practice, your machine is not accessible, then you should verify three things. One, internet gateway is attached to VPC or not. Second, whether root table and subnet association is configured properly or not. Properly means internet root is defined there or not. The subnet in which your machine is created, it is associated here or not. Then the third thing you have to check, that is security group. Whether in the security group you are accessing through SSH is allowed or not. Clear? So after this much, you can create your machine in the subnet, your own subnet, your own VPC, and you can access. You can see the private IP which is assigned to that machine is from the same network IDs which you have given. Okay. So next class we will do the practice on this all. So what you have to do when you go home, practice the same, creating VPC, internet gateway, subnet and all. Okay, try 2 times at least properly. So next class I will not show you any practical. I will just write the scenarios, and accordingly you have to create the VPC and the machine inside it. Okay, and where is the little bit change, that only I will guide. And if once you have created, then you want to delete this all. So to delete it is very easy. Just select your VPC, action, delete the VPC. But if any machine is created inside it, then first you have to delete your EC2 machine, then you can delete your VPC and subnet and all. So when you want to delete this, no need to go and delete internet gateway root table separately. Just you delete your VPC, you see, will also be deleted. Internet gateway root table subnet 1, subnet 2. Here you write the option delete. It will get deleted. So I have deleted, so no VPC is there, you see, only this default one is there. Subnet also, just refresh it, because you see last 3 minutes ago it was updated, and then you check, no subnet is there. Root table, if you check now, it will show Tanvi root table, but when you refresh, it will not show. Okay. Internet gateway, it is showing here. You refresh, it has